him to be just the man to run a lodging-house."
Francis's eyes followed where Ottilia's gaze had been, and Ottilia could not help looking again. Ben was now carrying pretty piggyback as he chased after his younger brother. The little girl's muted shrieks of enjoyment tore through Ottilia's bosom.
"I wish you'll stop fretting, Tilly."
"I wish it too, Fan, but I cannot." She released her fingers from his hold. "Don't scold. I know it is foolish of me, but her rejection hurts me, my dearest. Why does she not like me at all? What have I done?"
He did not speak for a moment, but his frowning gaze scanned her face.
"Well, what, Fan?"
An eyebrow flickered. "I could hazard a guess, but you won't like it."
Ignoring a flitter of unease, Ottilia met his brown gaze. "Go on." Francis reached for her hand again and held it strongly.
"You are trying too hard, my loved one."
"Well, but—"
"No. Listen to me." His tone softened. "Forgive me, sweetheart, but I believe you didn't want Pretty for herself. You wanted a substitute for the child you lost. Pretty will never be that."
The words hit hard. Ottilia swallowed on the threatening tears, but her voice was a murmur. "Brutal, Fan. But true, perhaps."
"There is no perhaps, Tilly."
He took her other hand and held both, as if he might force his message by this means.
"Come, use the intelligence I know you possess. You'll smother the child. Let her alone. Let her learn to trust you."
Dropping her gaze, Ottilia struggled for control. It was so near the bone she could barely tolerate hearing it. Yet hear it she must. At length she looked up again. "She must have sensed my desperation, do you not think?" His hold relaxed, and she allowed her hands to lie slackly in his.
"I think you want too much from the girl. She has lost everything, Tilly."
"Except Hepsy. She is more a mother to Pretty than I can ever be."
"She is not your daughter, nor can we be sure she will be left in your care."
The ever-present apprehension rose in Ottilia's breast, together with the tragic events last summer at Tunbridge Wells that had deprived Pretty Brockhurst of her former life, as well as her parents. Her grandfather, Viscount Wane, himself doubly bereaved, had been uninterested in the fate of the little girl, and so Ottilia had worked upon her husband until he had agreed to take the little girl home with them. "But Lord Wane has not even troubled himself to inquire after her, Fan, and we know how he meant to serve her, an unwanted granddaughter, for he made himself clear on that score."
Francis released her hands and rose, impatient now. "Be that as it may, you ought to guard against becoming too attached, instead of hankering for the impossible."
"It is not impossible. You have just said, and I agree with you, that I should give her time, that I should not try so hard. I grant you all that, but—"
"Tilly, we have been over this countless times. The child is safe in a family environment here, and that is all that matters. As to the future, are you listening to me?"
A movement in the periphery of her vision, coupled with the sound of trotting horses, had distracted Ottilia's attention to the window again. She glanced along the drive. "It is a coach. Are we expecting anyone?"
Francis shifted his stance, peering through the glass. "Not that I know of. Splashed with mud, too. They have come some distance."
Visitors from afar came rarely to Flitterus. Indeed, Ottilia's brother's recent flying visit, bringing her nephews for a short stay, had been the only one for an age. The coach was passing out of sight as it took the turn that led to the entrance to Flitterus Manor. Francis moved out into the room, and Ottilia came to join him in the triangle of sofa and chairs, set to catch